Hey guys, we're just making a quick video on rope climbs. You guys are going to do rope climbs in the workout tomorrow, the class workout. So we're going to give you guys a few ideas about how you guys can scale tomorrow. We're also going to talk about the ropes because they are new to the gym, and there are some things we should go through. If you want to develop your rope climbs, here's a few options for you. So first of all, before we do anything, I want to show you guys a couple of things on the ropes. First of all, they are new, so they are a little slippery at the moment. They're a little waxy. That will wear off very, very quickly. So they're not always going to feel like that, but just be careful at least for the next couple of weeks. They are a little waxy. Make sure you chalk up well before you start. The other thing you'll notice is that they're not all the way to the floor. That's by design. That's really a safety thing. One of the big injury concerns around rope climbing is when you jump off the rope, landing and rolling your ankle because you land on the rope. So the reason we've got them a bit shorter this time is to avoid any injury concerns. In the past we have had a few people roll ankles and things like that. That's why they're a bit shorter. Couple of things we're going to go through. First of all, who can do a rope climb and why? The first thing we're going to discuss is strength. So obviously a rope climb like a pull-up or a muscle-up does require various levels of strength, or at least a base level of strength. There's a couple of tests you can do to make sure that you can do that. The first one, which Alex is going to demonstrate for us, is basically can you support your body weight on the rope. So Alex is going to reach up as tall as he can, and then he's going to take his feet off the floor, and he's going to see if he can support his body on the rope. Now, he should be able to do this for at least 10 seconds. If you can't do that, that's something you probably need to work on before you start working on technical things like footholds and wrapping your feet around and all that sort of stuff. You need that in your kitty bag first, because if you haven't got that, you're not going to be able to support yourself while you wrap your foot around the rope. The next level, which makes it harder, is can you do the same thing but tuck your knees to your chest? That was never the same thing. Can you hold that position for 10 seconds? Reason being, when you do a foothold, you're going to get into this position. This is a much harder position than the one before. Can you do both of those things well? If you can do both of those things well, then you've probably got the strength required to start practicing rope climbs, wrapping your feet around, etc. Okay? In regards to the foothold, we're going to show you what that looks like. We're not going to allow legless rope climbs in the gym unless it's supervised. That's an obvious safety concern. So if you want to do legless rope climbs, let us know and we can organise a time where we can supervise that for you and go through that. However, if you are doing rope climbs in your own time, we need you guys to be doing a foothold. What a foothold looks like, first of all, is this. So, this is the foothold. 1 foot under the rope or over the rope. The rope wraps around and you step on the rope and clamp it off by stepping your other foot over it. So you really want to jam that rope between your feet. That's going to give you a support base. It's going to help you hold yourself up. Even if you get tired and you haven't got the strength to hold yourself up, you can lock that rope off until you feel you're ready to come down or ready to move to the next height. Okay? A great scaling option or a great way to practice that, if you haven't really got the skill yet, is doing exactly what Alex is doing now. So Alex is sitting on a box, a 30-inch box, so he can get plenty of height on the rope, and he can practice getting himself up into that position, and then he can take himself up onto the rope, and then if he wants to, he can go up any higher, or he can just sit back down. Okay, so that's a great way to practice your footholds. Take a box, sit it right next to the rope, get your first foothold sorted, learn what that feels like, and then drive out of that first foothold, and then maybe even try another one before coming back down. It's a great way to practice these before you start just trying to get off the ground. From there, once he's got the strength to be able to hold himself up, and he's got the skill to be able to wrap the foot around safely, and he's aware of how to do that, he can start doing rope climbs with his foothold. He can start by holding up and then starting to tuck his knees up to his chest. And even when he becomes more advanced, is he can jump to that first foothold. So when he becomes more advanced again, he can even practice jumping up to his first foothold, get a bit more height on the rope. But again, that requires a great deal of strength and skill to be developed before he progresses onto that. Okay? Now we are doing rope climbs tomorrow in the class. What we're going to do for scaling options for you guys, we can go through now. Scaling options are going to look like this. If you're not doing what we just showed you, a rope climb, which will require a full rope climb to the blue beam, you can do a half rope climb. The half rope climb we're going to do is going to the height of the next level of the beam, which keeps us from up there together. So basically where the rings are hanging to, that'll be a half rope climb, and you can come back down. If you haven't got that, you're going to do a rope pull off the floor. Now there is a technique to this. When you're doing a rope pull off the floor, we're going to get you guys to set up on the floor with your feet in line with the rope, and we're going to pull the rope back towards you. What this is going to allow you to do in this position is to get your body straight. So Alex is going to lift his hips off the floor and he's going to start pulling himself up to a standing position, and then he'll bring himself back down. Now there are various ways in which we can scale that. If you haven't got those, we can scale back further to pull-ups or ring rows. You may need further pulling strength, but this is a great option for a rope climb if you've never done them before, if you haven't gotten off the ground yet. Cool. Thanks. See you tomorrow, guys.